Chosen one, listen to me carefully. I have an urgent and important message to share today, and this message is not for everyone. This is only for those who truly walk the divine path of God. If you are not serious about your spiritual calling, if you are not seeking God with sincerity, you will feel uncomfortable here and you will leave, and that is perfectly fine. But if you are one of God's chosen ones, you are still here for a reason. This message has reached you at the exact right moment, not late, not early, perfectly timed by God Himself. The next moon you are about to witness is not random. It is a sign, a spiritual marker, and God is calling you into your purest form, not because you failed, but because you are about to rise. Chosen one, this next moon carries a message meant only for you. God is preparing you, cleansing you, and aligning you for what comes next. If you stay with me till the end, you will understand why your soul has been feeling restless, why your spirit has been shifting, and why God has been calling you deeper. Before we continue, chosen ones, give a like to this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tap the bell icon and share this message with other chosen ones so they don't miss what God is doing. And comment 777 in the comments to declare that you are aligned with God's timing and ready to walk in purity.
Why the next moon is not coincidence. Chosen one, let me calm your spirit first. Take a slow breath with me. What you are sensing right now is not imagination, and it is not emotional weakness. The reason the next moon feels heavy in your spirit is because God never moves randomly. Heaven does not operate on coincidence. Everything God does follows order, timing, and purpose. And you, as a chosen one, are sensitive to that timing, whether you understand it or not. From the beginning of creation, God placed signs in the heavens to mark seasons, transitions, and divine movements. The moon has always represented cycles, endings and beginnings, completion and renewal. When God uses a moon as a signal, He is speaking in a language older than words. Your spirit understands it even when your mind struggles to explain it. That is why you have been feeling unsettled, reflective, or unusually quiet inside. Your soul is responding to a shift that is already in motion. This next moon is not about fear. It is not a warning of punishment. It is a checkpoint, a moment where God pauses you, not to accuse you, but to realign you. Chosen ones often feel this more deeply because they are entrusted with more responsibility. When God is about to elevate you, He first brings you back into alignment. Not forward, not backward, but inward. You may have noticed your tolerance for noise has decreased. Conversations that once entertained you now feel draining. Environments you used to blend into now feel heavy. That is not arrogance, that is discernment growing. God is quietly adjusting your spiritual frequency, and anything that no longer matches it begins to feel uncomfortable. This is how God protects you without shouting. He changes what you desire. The next moon represents a closing of a spiritual chapter, not necessarily visible to others, but deeply real to you. Some habits will no longer satisfy you. Some thoughts will feel foreign. Some emotional patterns will lose their grip. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding layers that were only meant for survival, not destiny. God allowed them for a season, but the season is ending. I want you to hear this clearly, chosen one. Feeling tired lately does not mean you are weak. It means your spirit has been working overtime. You have been carrying emotional weight, spiritual battles, and unspoken prayers. God has seen all of it. The next moon is a signal that He is stepping in to restore balance, not by force, but by invitation. You see, God often speaks to chosen ones through timing rather than words. That is why this message reached you now and not weeks ago. If you were not ready, you would have scrolled past it. If this were not meant for you, your spirit would feel bored or irritated. Instead, Something inside you feels alert, even calm. That is confirmation. The world treats time as linear. God treats time as purposeful. When God marks a moment, he also releases grace for that moment. The next moon carries grace for clarity, grace to let go, grace to return to simplicity. You are not being asked to strive harder. You are being asked to become cleaner inside, quieter, more honest with yourself and with God. Let me say something bold, because you need to hear it. God does not refine people he plans to abandon. He refines those he intends to use. The reason this moon matters is because it aligns with a shift in your calling. Something is about to require more spiritual clarity from you, more emotional maturity, more inner stillness, and God prepares his vessels before he fills them. This is why the next moon is not coincidence. It is God's mercy arriving before confusion takes over. It is God saying, "Slow down, chosen one. Come back to me. Strip away what is not necessary. Return to what is pure. Not pure in appearance, but pure in intention. Pure in motive. Pure in heart." You may be wondering why others around you seem unaffected, why they continue life as usual while you feel like you are standing at a spiritual doorway. That is because not everyone is called to the same depth, and that is not superiority. It is assignment. God does not invite everyone into the inner chambers. Some are called to watch from afar. You are called to listen closely. This next moon is also exposing false urgency. The pressure you have felt to rush, to fix everything, to prove yourself, that pressure is not from God. God does not rush his chosen ones. He grounds them. He roots them. The moon reminds you that growth happens quietly, invisibly, before it ever becomes visible. Chosen one, your restlessness has a reason. Your emotional sensitivity has a purpose. God is tuning you like an instrument before a new sound is released through you. The next moon is simply the marker where heaven says, "Now you understand. Now you release. Now you realign." Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is falling apart. You are not behind. You are exactly where God needs you to be for what comes next. And the more you stop resisting this inner pull, the more peace you will feel. Let the next moon pass without fear. Let it find you honest. Let it find you willing. Let it find you lighter than before. Because this is not coincidence. This is confirmation. Chosen one, let me add this layer so your understanding becomes complete and your heart becomes settled. The reason God often uses moments like the next moon is because they force stillness. You cannot control the moon. You cannot speed it up or slow it down. You can only witness it. And that is exactly what God is teaching you right now. To witness what he is doing inside you without interfering, without forcing outcomes, without questioning every movement. You may have felt a quiet pull toward prayer, or toward silence, or even toward stepping back from things that once defined your routine. That is not isolation, that is consecration. God sometimes separates his chosen ones not to punish them, but to protect what he is forming. Noise disrupts formation, distraction distorts clarity. So God gently draws you inward. This next moon is also a reminder that light still exists even in darkness. The moon does not create its own light. It reflects. And chosen one, this is powerful. God is reminding you that you were never meant to shine from your own strength. You reflect his presence. When your heart is pure, that reflection becomes clear. When your heart is cluttered, it becomes distorted. So as the next moon approaches, do not overthink it. Do not fear it. Simply allow it to mark a moment of surrender. A moment where you stop trying to figure everything out and start trusting that God already has. This is how alignment begins. This is how peace returns. And this is why the next moon is not coincidence, but divine confirmation that God is still guiding you step by step. God is calling you back to purity, not perfection. Chosen one, listen to me slowly here, because this is where many people misunderstand God and end up carrying unnecessary guilt. God is not calling you back to perfection. He has never asked that of you. Perfection is a human idea rooted in fear, performance, and comparison. Purity, on the other hand, is a divine invitation rooted in alignment, honesty, and love. Purity does not mean you never struggle. Purity means you no longer pretend. It means your inner life and your outer life are no longer at war with each other. God is not scanning your life looking for mistakes to punish. He is looking at your heart, asking a simple question. Are you willing to be real with me again? Some of you have been trying so hard to be good that you've lost your peace. You've been monitoring every thought, every emotion, every reaction, wondering if God is disappointed. Let me free you from that burden right now. God is not disappointed in you. He is inviting you closer. Conviction draws you in, condemnation pushes you away, and God never uses condemnation on his chosen ones. Purity is about intention, it is about motive, it is about direction. When God calls you back to purity, he is calling you back to a clear heart, not a flawless record. He is asking you to release what pollutes your spirit, not to erase your humanity. You are allowed to feel, you are allowed to heal, you are allowed to grow slowly. Let me say this boldly. Many chosen ones carry religious trauma they never talk about. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that God's love was conditional, that you had to earn his presence, that one wrong move could disqualify you. That teaching did more damage than you realize. God's correction is gentle, his voice is firm, but never cruel. If the voice you are hearing sounds harsh, shaming, or threatening, that voice is not God. God is calling you back to purity because purity brings clarity, and clarity brings peace. When your heart is pure, you stop second-guessing every spiritual step. You stop living in fear of messing up. You begin to trust God again, not as a judge waiting to strike, but as a father guiding you forward. Purity also means releasing divided loyalties. Some of you love God, but you are still emotionally attached to things he already asked you to outgrow. Not because they are evil, but because they no longer fit who you are becoming. Purity is saying, I choose alignment over attachment. I choose peace over familiarity. I choose growth over comfort. This is where many people resist. They think God is trying to take something away. But God does not remove without replacing. He clears space so he can fill it with something better. When he calls you back to purity, he is protecting your future self. The version of you that walks with confidence. The version of you that hears God clearly. The version of you that no longer lives in inner conflict. Purity also restores your spiritual authority. When your heart is cluttered, you doubt yourself. You hesitate, you shrink. When your heart is pure, you move with quiet confidence. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. You don't need validation. You know who you are because your spirit is not clouded. Chosen one, purity is not about isolating yourself from the world. It is about not letting the world live inside you. You can be present without being polluted. You can be kind without compromising. You can be loving without losing yourself. God is teaching you discernment, not withdrawal. Some of you feel conviction right now, and that's okay. Conviction is not shame. Conviction is God gently tapping your heart and saying, this no longer serves you. That thought pattern, that habit, that relationship dynamic, that version of you who kept settling. God is not angry about it. He is simply ready to lead you higher. You are not being called to become rigid or religious. You are being called to become lighter, freer, more honest. Purity removes heaviness. It quiets mental noise. It brings rest to your soul. That is why God is emphasizing it now, before the next moon. Because what comes next requires clarity, not confusion. Let me reassure you of something very important. You do not clean yourself up to come to God. You come to God so he can clean what is weighing you down. The order matters. If you try to perfect yourself first, you will burn out. If you surrender first, God will do the refining naturally. Purity also means forgiving yourself. Some of you are still punishing yourself for things God already forgave. You replay old mistakes like they define you. They don't. God does not identify you by your worst moment. He identifies you by your calling, and that calling has not been revoked. Chosen one, God wants you in your purest form, because your purest form is your most powerful form. Not loud, not forceful, but grounded, peaceful, clear. When your heart is pure, your prayers are simple. Your decisions are steady. Your emotions are honest, but no longer controlling you. This is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to who you were before fear, pressure, and survival mode took over. The version of you that trusted God without overthinking. The version of you that listened instead of striving. God is not adding pressure, He is removing it. So if you feel a pull to simplify your life, honor it. If you feel called to step back from certain influences, trust it. If you feel God nudging you to quiet your mind and realign your heart, respond gently, not dramatically. Purity grows in stillness, not in panic. You are not failing God. You are being refined by Him. And refinement is always proof of value. God does not polish what He plans to discard. He purifies what He plans to use. Rest in that truth. Let it settle in your spirit. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for honesty, surrender, and trust. And that, chosen one, is something you are more than capable of giving. The signs you've been experiencing are confirmation. Chosen one, let me speak to your heart with clarity and calm, because what you have been experiencing lately is not random, and it is not a breakdown. It is confirmation. Many of you have been questioning yourselves quietly. You haven't said it out loud, but deep inside you wondered, why do I feel different? Why am I reacting differently to things that never bothered me before? Why does my inner world feel louder even when my outer life looks the same? I'm here to tell you, these are not warning signs. These are alignment signs. One of the first confirmations is your growing need for solitude. Not loneliness, but solitude. You may notice that you enjoy being alone more than you used to. Crowded conversations feel draining. Constant noise feels overwhelming. This is not you becoming antisocial. This is your spirit asking for space to breathe. God often pulls His chosen ones inward before He moves them forward. Silence becomes sacred when God is doing inner work. Another sign is emotional sensitivity. You feel things more deeply now. Words affect you differently. Energy shifts don't go unnoticed anymore. You may even feel emotional without knowing why. This does not mean you are unstable. It means your discernment is sharpening. When God cleanses the heart, emotional awareness increases. You are no longer numb. You are becoming present. Some of you have noticed a sudden loss of interest in things you once loved. Entertainment feels empty. Old habits feel repetitive. Certain conversations feel shallow. This can be confusing, even uncomfortable. You may wonder if something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong. God is gently removing your appetite for what no longer feeds your spirit. When your taste changes, it's because your inner needs have changed. Another strong confirmation is fatigue that rest alone doesn't fix. This kind of tiredness is not physical exhaustion. It is spiritual processing. Your soul has been releasing old patterns, old wounds, and old ways of thinking. That takes energy. God often allows this kind of tiredness so you stop pushing yourself beyond what is healthy. He is teaching you to slow down and listen instead of constantly doing. You may also feel misunderstood by people you used to connect with easily. Conversations don't flow the same. You don't feel seen in the same way. This can feel isolating, but it is also confirmation. Alignment changes relationships. Not everyone can walk with you into deeper spiritual waters. This does not mean you are better than them. It means your path is shifting. Another sign is heightened intuition. You sense things before they happen. You feel when something is off. You pick up on motives and emotions without being told. This can feel overwhelming if you don't understand it, but this is spiritual sensitivity increasing. God trusts you with awareness because awareness is necessary for your calling. He would not sharpen this in you if you were not ready to carry it. Many chosen ones experience vivid dreams or sudden memories resurfacing during this phase. Old emotions, unresolved moments, or forgotten prayers come back into your awareness. This is not regression. This is healing. God brings things back not to shame you, but to release them fully. What is acknowledged can be healed. What is ignored continues to weigh you down. Another confirmation is a deep desire for authenticity. You no longer want to pretend. You no longer want to perform spiritually or emotionally. You want real connection, real peace, real faith. You are tired of wearing masks, even holy ones. This desire is not rebellion. It is maturity. God is calling you into a faith that is lived, not displayed. You may also notice that your tolerance for chaos has decreased. Drama feels exhausting. Conflict feels unnecessary. You crave peace more than excitement. This is not weakness. This is wisdom forming. God is teaching you to protect your inner environment because your inner environment determines your clarity. Some of you feel an unexplainable pull toward God that is different from before. It's quieter, deeper, less emotional, more grounded. You're not chasing signs anymore. You're listening. This is one of the clearest confirmations of all. When your relationship with God shifts from urgency to intimacy, you are entering a new spiritual season. Let me reassure you of something important. Feeling disconnected from the world does not mean you are disconnected from life. It means your foundation is changing. Foundations are rebuilt in silence. Growth happens underground before it becomes visible. What you are experiencing now is preparation, not punishment. You may have also noticed moments of clarity appearing out of nowhere. Sudden understanding, sudden peace, sudden knowing. These moments are not accidents, they are glimpses of alignment. God is showing you what it feels like when your spirit is clean and your mind is quiet. These moments will increase as you continue to surrender. Chosen one, I need you to stop questioning your sanity. Stop doubting your path. Stop comparing your process to others. Your signs are personal because your calling is personal. God speaks to you in ways you can understand. And right now, He is speaking through shifts, not through noise. Everything you are experiencing is pointing you in one direction. Back to center, back to truth, back to peace. These signs are not asking you to panic. They are asking you to trust. Trust that God is doing exactly what He said He would do. Trust that nothing is wrong with you. Trust that this discomfort is temporary, but the clarity that follows will be lasting. So when you feel tired, rest without guilt. When you feel emotional, feel without shame. When you feel distant from certain things, release them without fear. These are not losses. These are confirmations. God does not confuse His chosen ones. He prepares them. And what you are experiencing right now is proof that preparation is already underway. Chosen one, let me add this final layer so your heart can fully rest and your mind can stop searching for answers in the wrong places. One more confirmation many of you are experiencing is a deep intolerance for dishonesty, even small compromises. Things you once overlooked now disturb your spirit, not because you are becoming judgmental, but because your inner alignment is sharpening. When purity increases, your spirit naturally resists what feels misaligned. This is God teaching you integrity from the inside out. You may also notice that you no longer chase validation the way you once did. Praise feels less exciting. Criticism feels less devastating. Something inside you has matured. This is a sign of inner authority forming. God is anchoring your identity so it is no longer dependent on external approval. This shift is quiet, but powerful. Another subtle confirmation is how quickly peace returns after moments of emotional tension. In the past, you may have stayed stuck in overthinking or anxiety. Now, even when you feel shaken, you recover faster. This is emotional resilience being built. God is strengthening your inner foundation so future challenges do not destabilize you the way they once did. You may also feel a strong pull to protect your time and energy. You are more selective with who you engage, what you consume, and where you invest emotionally. This is not selfishness. it is stewardship. God is teaching you to guard what He is growing. All of these signs point to one truth. You are not losing yourself. You are coming home to yourself. And the closer you return to who God created you to be, the clearer everything else becomes. What God is removing from your life before the next moon. Chosen one, I want you to listen to this part without fear, without resistance, and without assuming loss means punishment. What God removes is never random, and it is never cruel. God does not strip His chosen ones to harm them. He removes to protect. He separates to preserve. And before the next moon, there are things God is gently but firmly lifting out of your life because they cannot follow you into what comes next. The first thing God removes is what drains your spirit without feeding your soul. Some connections, routines, and obligations have been quietly exhausting you. You may not have labeled them as bad, but you feel depleted afterward. That feeling is not weakness. It is discernment. God is teaching you to notice where your peace leaks out. If something constantly leaves you tired, confused, or heavy, it is not aligned with your next season. This includes relationships that require you to shrink, perform, or explain yourself repeatedly. God never asks His chosen ones to abandon love, but He does ask them to abandon self-betrayal. Some people benefited from the version of you who overgave, over-explained, and overextended. That version of you was formed in survival, not calling. God is releasing you from that role. Before the next moon, God is also removing false identities. These are labels you picked up to cope. The strong one who never rests, the fixer who carries everyone's burden, the agreeable one who avoids conflict at all costs. These identities helped you survive earlier seasons, but they are not who you truly are. God is calling you back to authenticity, not performance, and authenticity requires letting go of masks. You may feel uncomfortable as these identities loosen. You may wonder who you are without them. That discomfort is temporary. God is not erasing you. He is uncovering you. The real you does not need to earn rest. The real you does not need to prove worth. The real you is already known by God. Another thing God is removing is emotional dependency. Some of you have leaned too heavily on certain people, outcomes, or routines to feel stable. When those things felt threatened, your peace collapsed. God is not condemning you for this. He understands why you did it. But He is strengthening you now. He wants your stability rooted in Him, not in circumstances that can change overnight. This may look like God allowing distance, silence, or shifts you did not initiate. Do not panic when this happens. Do not chase what God is loosening. Emotional independence does not mean isolation. It means your peace is no longer negotiable. It means you can love deeply without losing yourself. God is also removing outdated thought patterns, thoughts that kept you small, thoughts that assumed the worst, thoughts that told you to expect disappointment. These thoughts formed during seasons of pain, but they are not prophetic. They are protective, and their job is finished. God is retraining your mind to expect goodness without fear. That takes time, but it starts with awareness. You may catch yourself thinking differently without effort. Or you may feel resistance when old fears try to resurface. This is progress. God is gently dismantling mental strongholds that once controlled your reactions. You are not becoming careless. You are becoming secure. Before the next moon, God is also removing urgency that did not come from Him. Some of you have been living with constant pressure to hurry, fix, achieve, or catch up. That pressure is not divine. God does not rush His chosen ones. He establishes them. If something requires you to abandon peace to pursue it, it is not aligned. You may feel slowed down right now, delayed, paused. That pause is intentional. God is teaching you to move from obedience, not anxiety. When urgency leaves, clarity enters, and clarity is essential for what comes next. Another removal that feels heavy but is deeply merciful is the release of old wounds that shaped your reactions. God is bringing buried emotions to the surface so they can finally heal. You may feel emotional without a clear reason. Memories may resurface. This is not regression, this is completion. What is healed no longer controls you. God is also removing tolerance for dishonesty, including self-deception. You are no longer able to ignore what feels off. You cannot pretend something is fine when it isn't. This is not judgment. This is integrity forming. Integrity brings peace because nothing is hidden. When your inner and outer worlds align, anxiety decreases. Some of you will notice God removing distractions that once filled empty space. Excess noise, endless scrolling, constant stimulation. These things numbed you during painful seasons, but now they block clarity. God is inviting you into simplicity. Simplicity is not deprivation, it is freedom. You may also experience the removal of certain expectations you placed on yourself. Unrealistic standards, harsh self-talk, constant self-monitoring. God does not motivate through shame, He leads through love. As these expectations fall away, you may feel lighter, but also unsure. That is okay. You are learning to live from grace, not pressure. Chosen one, I need you to understand this clearly. What God removes before the next moon is not taken from you. It is released for you. Everything leaving now would have limited you later. Everything falling away served its purpose, but its time is complete. Do not cling to what God is loosening. Do not mourn what is no longer required. You are not being emptied to be left hollow. You are being cleared to be filled with peace, clarity, and strength. Let the removals happen without resistance. Trust that God sees the full picture. Trust that He knows what you need and what you no longer do. Trust that nothing essential will be lost. The next moon does not mark loss, it marks readiness. And what remains after God removes what is not aligned will feel lighter, truer, and more peaceful than anything you are leaving behind. You are safe in this process. You are guided. And everything God is removing is making room for what will finally feel like home. Chosen one, let me add this final layer so you do not misinterpret the quiet changes happening around you. One of the most subtle but important things God is removing before the next moon is your attachment to explanations. You no longer need everyone to understand your choices, your boundaries, or your path. God is teaching you that peace does not come from being understood, but from being aligned. The need to explain often comes from fear of rejection, and God is freeing you from that fear. You may also notice God removing your tolerance for delay caused by indecision. You are becoming quicker to recognize what aligns and what does not. This is not impulsiveness, it is clarity. When your spirit is clear, hesitation fades. God is sharpening your ability to choose peace without guilt. Another quiet removal is your attachment to outcomes you cannot control. You are learning to do your part and release the rest. This surrender is not weakness, it is trust. God is teaching you to stop carrying results that were never yours to manage. You may feel a subtle grief as these attachments loosen. That grief does not mean you are making a mistake. It means you are growing. Growth always requires letting go of familiar ways of coping. God honors your honesty in this process. You are not expected to detach perfectly. You are only asked to remain willing. Let me reassure you one more time. Nothing God removes will leave you empty. What leaves now was preparing you for this release, and what remains will feel more like truth than effort. So as the next moon approaches, do not brace yourself. Open yourself. Let God complete what He has already begun. This is not loss. This is alignment. This is preparation. This is grace. How to walk in purity without pressure or fear. Chosen one, this is where many people either find peace or return to pressure. And I want you to choose peace. Walking in purity was never meant to feel like walking on glass. God did not design purity to make you anxious, rigid, or afraid of making a mistake. If fear is leading you, purity becomes punishment. If love is leading you, purity becomes freedom. And God always leads through love. The first thing you must understand is this: purity begins with rest, not effort. Most people try to walk in purity by tightening control. They monitor themselves constantly. They suppress emotions. They force discipline without understanding. That approach always leads to burnout. God invites you into purity by slowing you down, not speeding you up. When your soul is rested, clarity comes naturally. When clarity comes, purity follows. Walking in purity without pressure means learning to pause before reacting. Not every thought needs your agreement. Not every emotion needs immediate expression. God is teaching you sacred restraint, not emotional denial. When something rises inside you, instead of judging it, observe it. Ask yourself, why is this here? What is it trying to protect? This gentle awareness removes fear and replaces it with wisdom. Purity also grows when you stop confusing conviction with anxiety. Anxiety screams. Conviction whispers. Anxiety rushes you into shame. Conviction calmly invites you into alignment. If you feel panicked, threatened, or condemned, that is not God guiding you. God's guidance brings peace even when it challenges you. Learning to recognize the tone of God's voice is one of the most freeing steps toward purity. Another key to walking in purity without pressure is simplifying your spiritual life. You do not need a complicated routine to be close to God. You need consistency, not intensity. Short, honest moments of connection matter more than long, forced rituals. Speak to God as you are, not as you think you should be. Purity thrives in honesty. God cannot heal what you hide, but He always heals what you bring openly. Let me speak directly to those of you who overthink your spiritual walk. You analyze every decision, every emotion, every pause. That constant analysis is not discernment. It is fear disguised as responsibility. God is teaching you to trust your inner peace as guidance. When something aligns, your body relaxes. When something is off, your spirit tightens. Learn to listen to that instead of second-guessing yourself endlessly. Walking in purity also means setting gentle boundaries, not harsh restrictions. Boundaries protect peace. Restrictions often create rebellion. God is not asking you to cut yourself off from life. He is asking you to be selective. What you allow into your mind matters. What you consume emotionally matters. But this awareness should feel empowering, not suffocating. If a boundary makes you bitter, it is rooted in fear. If it brings relief, it is rooted in wisdom. Another important truth is this: purity is not maintained by willpower alone. It is sustained by environment. Pay attention to what surrounds you. Not just people, but media, conversations, and even internal dialogue. If you constantly expose yourself to chaos, your inner world will reflect it. God is inviting you to curate your environment so your spirit can remain clear without constant effort. Walking in purity without fear also requires compassion for yourself. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to stumble. Growth is not linear. God does not withdraw when you struggle. He draws closer. If you fall into old patterns briefly, do not spiral into shame. Return quickly. Shame prolongs distance. Grace shortens it. God responds to humility, not perfection. Many chosen ones struggle with feeling spiritually behind. Let me release you from that lie. You are not late. You are not lagging. You are not disappointing God. Spiritual maturity is not measured by speed, but by depth. God would rather you move slowly with clarity than rush forward with confusion. Walking in purity means honoring your current capacity without forcing transformation. Another powerful practice is learning to forgive yourself quickly. Self-punishment does not produce purity, it produces fear. When you acknowledge where you misaligned and gently realign, growth happens naturally. God is not impressed by how harshly you judge yourself. He is pleased when you return to peace. Walking in purity also means allowing joy back into your life. Some of you associate purity with seriousness, with restriction, with emotional heaviness. That is not God's design. Joy is a fruit of alignment. When your heart is pure, joy flows freely because nothing is weighing it down. You are allowed to laugh. You are allowed to enjoy life. Purity does not make you dull. It makes you fully alive. Another essential element is learning to listen more than you strive. Many chosen ones exhaust themselves trying to do the right thing instead of listening for the right timing. Obedience is not frantic action, it is calm response. God speaks in stillness because stillness requires trust. When you quiet your inner noise, you will notice how clear God's guidance actually is. Walking in purity without pressure also means releasing comparison. Your path is not meant to look like anyone else's. What God asks of you may differ from what He asks of others. Comparison creates unnecessary guilt. Alignment creates peace. God customizes His guidance to your calling, your temperament, and your season. Let me also address fear of failure, because it quietly sabotages purity. Fear of failure makes you rigid. It makes you afraid to move. God does not expect you to get everything right. He expects you to stay responsive. A responsive heart corrects quickly without panic. That is purity in motion. Another practice God is teaching you is emotional honesty in prayer. Stop filtering your feelings. Bring your frustration, confusion, and questions to God. Purity does not mean suppressing negative emotions. It means processing them in God's presence instead of acting them out unconsciously. Walking in purity also means learning when to disengage. Not every battle requires your response. Not every misunderstanding needs clarification. Peace grows when you stop proving and start trusting. God defends what you release. When you protect your peace, you walk in purity naturally. As the next moon approaches, God is not asking you to brace yourself. He is asking you to soften. Pressure hardens the heart. Trust opens it. Fear tightens your grip. Faith loosens it. Purity lives in that looseness. Chosen one, walking in purity without pressure is not about becoming more disciplined. It is about becoming more honest, more aware, and more gentle with yourself. God is not watching you nervously. He is walking with you patiently. Let purity feel like relief. Let obedience feel like peace. Let alignment feel like rest. When purity is rooted in love, it sustains itself. And when it sustains itself, you no longer fear losing it. You are not walking this path alone. God is guiding you step by step, moment by moment. And as long as you stay willing, stay honest, and stay connected, purity will no longer feel like effort. It will feel like home. What opens for you after the next moon? Chosen one, after the next moon passes, something quiet but powerful opens within you. This is not the kind of opening that demands attention or announces itself loudly. It is subtle, steady, and deeply stabilizing. Many people miss it because they expect fireworks. But what God opens for you is far more valuable. He opens clarity. And clarity changes everything. The first thing that opens is inner peace that is no longer fragile. Before, peace may have come and gone depending on circumstances. After this shift, peace becomes your baseline. It no longer depends on people agreeing with you, outcomes working out immediately, or everything feeling certain. You begin to carry peace instead of chasing it. This is one of the clearest signs that alignment has taken root. Along with peace comes clarity of direction. You may not receive a detailed blueprint for your entire future, but you will know your next step without anxiety. Confusion lifts. Decision-making becomes simpler. You stop over-analyzing every option. God opens your discernment so you can move forward without constantly doubting yourself. When clarity opens, hesitation closes. Another opening is emotional stability. Not numbness, but steadiness. You still feel deeply, but emotions no longer control you. You recover faster from disappointment. You respond instead of react. This emotional maturity is not learned overnight. It is the fruit of purification. When your heart is clean, emotions flow without overwhelming you. After the next moon, many chosen ones experience a renewed sense of purpose. Not pressure-filled purpose, but grounded purpose. You feel anchored in who you are and why you are here. You no longer feel the need to prove your calling. You simply live it. This kind of purpose brings confidence without arrogance. You move quietly, but with certainty. Another door that opens is strengthened spiritual discernment. You recognize what aligns and what does not, almost instantly. You feel when something is off without needing evidence. This is not suspicion. It is awareness. God sharpens this because your next season requires you to navigate with wisdom, not impulse. Peace with your past also opens. Regret loses its grip. Old memories no longer trigger the same emotional charge. You remember without reliving. This is healing completing its work. God does not erase your past. He redeems it so it no longer defines you. When peace with the past opens, energy returns to the present. After the next moon, you may notice increased favor in subtle ways. Conversations flow more easily. Opportunities appear without forcing. Resistance decreases. This is not luck. It is alignment. When you are in the right place internally, external things begin to align naturally. Another opening is deeper connection with God that feels natural, not forced. Prayer becomes simpler. You speak and listen without effort. You no longer feel the need to perform spiritually. Intimacy replaces obligation. God's presence feels familiar, not intimidating. You may also experience a clearer sense of boundaries. You know when to say no without guilt. You know when to say yes without fear. Your time and energy feel valuable again. This clarity protects your peace and allows you to show up fully where you are meant to be. Confidence also opens, but not the loud kind. This confidence is rooted in knowing who you are. You stop seeking validation. You trust your inner guidance. You are less shaken by criticism and less dependent on praise. This quiet confidence changes how others respond to you, even if they cannot explain why. Another powerful opening is rest. Real rest. Not just physical, but mental and emotional. Your mind quiets. You sleep more deeply. You feel less need to stay constantly alert. God restores your nervous system through alignment. When rest opens, creativity and insight follow. Chosen one, something else opens that many people overlook. Gratitude. Not forced gratitude, but natural appreciation. You begin to notice goodness in small moments. Gratitude flows because your heart is no longer cluttered. This shifts your entire perspective and deepens your joy. You may also feel a stronger sense of protection. Things that once destabilized you lose their power. God places a quiet shield around you, not by removing challenges, but by strengthening your foundation. You are less affected by external chaos because your center is anchored. After the next moon, clarity around relationships opens. You know who belongs in your inner circle and who does not. You release connections without bitterness. You invest where there is mutual respect and growth. This brings peace instead of loneliness. Another door that opens is patience. Not passive waiting, but confident trust. You stop rushing outcomes. You trust timing. This patience reduces anxiety and allows God to work without interference. You may also notice increased creativity or insight. Ideas flow. Solutions come unexpectedly. This is mental space opening. When fear leaves, inspiration enters. God uses this to guide you in practical ways. Let me say something important. Not everything that opens will feel dramatic. Some changes will feel so natural you may not even notice them at first. But when you look back, you will realize how much lighter you feel, how much clearer your thinking has become, and how much calmer your spirit is. This is what alignment produces. Not chaos, not pressure, not constant striving. Alignment produces stability, clarity, and peace. God opens these doors because you are ready to carry them. Chosen one, the next moon does not mark an end. It marks an opening. A quiet opening that leads you into a more grounded, more peaceful, more authentic version of yourself. Walk into it without fear. Trust what God has prepared. Everything opening now is meant to support you, not overwhelm you. And the most important thing that opens after the next moon is this: trust. You begin to trust yourself again, and through that trust, you trust God more deeply than before. Conclusion: stay pure, stay called, stay still. Chosen one, as we come to the end of this message, I want you to let one truth settle deeply into your spirit. You are not chosen by accident, and you are not being guided randomly. Every shift you have felt, every release you have endured, and every moment of stillness you have been led into has been intentional. God knows exactly where you are, and He knows exactly what He is doing in you. Stay pure, not by striving, but by staying honest. Stay called, not by proving yourself, but by remaining aligned. And stay still, not because nothing is happening, but because God is working most powerfully in the quiet. Stillness is not stagnation. It is trust in motion. You do not need to rush what God is unfolding. You do not need to fear missing your moment. Divine timing does not miss. What is meant for you will find you when you are ready to receive it. And right now, your role is simple. Remain open, remain grounded, remain faithful in the small, quiet ways. Let the next moon pass without anxiety. Let it find you lighter than before. Let it find you resting in truth instead of striving for control. You are not being tested. You are being prepared. Before you go, chosen ones, give a like to this video if this message spoke to your spirit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tap the bell icon so you don't miss what God is revealing next, and share this message with other chosen ones who need this clarity right now. And comment 777 in the comments to declare that you are aligned, purified, and trusting God's timing. Stay faithful, stay grounded, and remember, God is always closer than you think.